Hope you all are doing great. The subject for today is gonna be delayed gratification. Some of you probably know it. Most people within the gym and fitness journey, they at least are performing it, even if they are unconscious about that they're actually doing it, but they are doing it. And the concept of delayed gratification is the fact that you're doing something and not expecting direct results. It may be obvious in the beginning, like when you're going to a gym, you're not gonna be jacked in one day, probably not 2 days. But that's not just the case, it's way more than that. Let's take it one step further. When you're training with a certain exercise, for example, if I hear someone say, this exercise doesn't work for me, or I'm not getting any results, and then they tell me, I've been doing it for 1-2 weeks. It's like, how the fuck can you do or give a conclusion if you only done it for 1 or 2 weeks? Like, that's not possible. And this is where the concept is so important. It's not only with training, you have it in life as well, but the fact that great things takes time, especially if you want to make a like black and white conclusion. Is this good or bad for me, or am I getting results? Do I need to change something? That is really hard to say. Like, you need some damn good time to actually be able to tell that. So let's just check off this box when it comes to exercises. If you're trying something new, that's something I personally tried, especially in the beginning when I was looking up exercises like, oh, what's the best planche exercise? What's the best front lever exercises? We all done that, me too. And the thing is that I didn't do them long enough to know which ones were actually good for me. I just tried them for a short period of time, and the ones that I continued with in the beginning was the ones that I could do the best or perform the best with, which was basically just me giving it one try and then saying, this wasn't for me, and not really giving it like 1 month solid and then do a conclusion. But that's a mistake I did in the beginning. That's what I'm telling you now. So if you're in the beginning of your journey, don't do that mistake. Give it some time before you choose which exercises you're gonna pursue it. That's the number one factor, because then at the end of the day, if you're training one exercise, or at least progressively increasing the intensity in that exercise for 1 year, like, you can damn well spend a solid 1 month trying it out if it's good or not. If you spend 1 month and then you have a solid ass fucking workout plan for 1 year ahead, that's worth it. That is so worth it. So that's what I recommend. Then the other thing now that I want to say with delayed gratification, that's not really related to training, but more life and lifestyle. It's whenever you're doing something and thinking that what I'm doing right now is at some point gonna benefit me in the long run. That, if you can accept that that's the fact, that is for some reason infinite motivation for the moment or the present right now. That's something I feel a lot when I'm doing, for example, training programs, or when I'm doing YouTube, or when I'm doing Instagram content, whatever it may be. I just accept that everything I'm putting in right now, it might not be results right now. More or less the opposite, like it's straight up hustle and nothing in return. But I'm still so damn motivated, because my belief that it's at some point gonna pay off. At some point one video is gonna blow up, or at some point there are gonna be a few individuals that just gain insane results from doing my programs, or at some point my Instagram is giving me opportunities that I wouldn't be able to have. But I won't know that until it's actually happening, and that's the concept of delayed gratification. And me just believing that it's a high chance of happening, that also means that I have so much motivation to actually pursue things with delayed gratification. That makes sense. So right now, for example, I've been hustling with YouTube, I've been hustling with Instagram for 1 year now. YouTube is slightly less, Instagram is more like 2.5 years. But there is period where nothing is happening. For Instagram, for the last probably 6 months now, I've been declining in followers. But does that mean I haven't been doing good? Does it mean that I'm failing? It's like, no, because my content has switched up. I'm like, my reach, it's just that I haven't got these viral videos, but my content has been like, I've been constantly posting things. I've been constantly giving value. And that's what delayed gratification is, that okay, maybe I haven't seen the results right now, but maybe the posts that I've been doing now for the last 6 months are gonna pay off in a few months. Who knows? Maybe that's gonna be the case. Maybe one of them pops up. Or with YouTube, maybe I've just been doing these vlogs, maybe I've been doing tutorials, nothing is happening in the beginning. Then for some reason, boom, something pops off, a lot of things happening, and all of a sudden, everything was worth it. I still feel like everything is worth it. For me, it's not really about it. Like, does it go viral or not? That's not really my thing. I'm more of the consistently doing the work and eventually adding up. To be honest, I wouldn't really feel the same gratification if everything just happened overnight. It wouldn't be the same thing. I wouldn't be the same person either. Because if it's too easy and you haven't really hustled enough for it, it's gonna be way harder to then drop off. Because let's say it's all of a sudden things are going really easy for you. If you then know how to fucking work your ass off when it's not going good, when it's then actually going really well for you, you just dominate. You absolutely dominate, because you know how it is when shit is going bad, you're getting nothing in return. But when you're actually getting it, you're getting that extra motivation, that extra spark, you can be so insanely productive. That's the same concept now if we go back to training. If you've been doing a few exercises for a while, and then after some time you just start feeling the results, it's like the best feeling. You know that you've been putting in the work. It's been hella shit for some time in the gym. This is a period of pure discipline, but then it pays off. And at that point, you know that fuck, everything I did was worth it. But until that point, you can't know for sure. Like you can't know, is it gonna be a turning point? You just gotta outlast it for so long that you are alive to experience. That's pushed a bit far, but you just gotta outlast this period of hustle so you actually see the results. And then if you do it once, hopefully that gives you enough courage to do it one more time. And your belief is so strong that, okay, if it worked once, it's gonna work again. And that's the truth. Like, if you just look at any successful person, whether that's in business or whether it's with fitness, you're gonna see that there's a lot of people that have done it. And that's the thing, like, okay, so if you know it's possible, then just go for it once. And first time it's gonna be a bit risky, whether it's money-wise or it's training-wise. You're doing something, it doesn't feel like you're getting anything in the beginning, it's shit, because you just seen other people do it, but for your own, you have never really seen that it's working. But then once you get it first time, you're done. You're in the game. You're in the game of delayed gratification, and that's where you want to be. That's where I believe the biggest success is going to be found. It doesn't matter if it's training or with money or whatever you're into. It's just that the fact that you can work so fucking hard and not expecting anything at the moment, that is powerful. And that's the end result we want to land. And that's what I'm working towards. That's why I want to be this person, not known for my results, not known for my skills, not known for really what I have accomplished. I want to be known for like hard as fucking work. Because at the end of the day, if I just do that for a long period of time, luck doesn't play a role. Like, hard work, it eliminates these factors that can help you, which is luck. It can also be that you were born with a better foundation. Let's just say you come from a certain family within maybe fitness, you were putting gymnastics early on and now you switch to calisthenics or something. That's a good foundation, and not everyone are there. But if you work your fucking ass off, that doesn't matter as much. The same is if, let's say, go back to business side. If you come from a really wealthy family where you're helped a lot in the business, you're getting started early, maybe you even got some capital or some money in the beginning to invest, get started with whatever you're doing, that is good. That is really nice. It's gonna make the progress way faster. But everyone doesn't have that. Everyone doesn't have that. And that's where also hard work is gonna eliminate the factor that did it matter or not. At the end of the day, you give it many years, it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter if you just put in the work. And that's what I wanna show. Like, I wasn't born with a gift. I just wanna put it that way. When it comes to training, when it comes to money or whatever it may be, I wasn't born there. So I just wanna show my full journey. show that it is pretty straight up hustle. But most of the times you are also gonna see me pretty happy. Like, I enjoy my journey. Even though I haven't, you know, I've reached a really high level in calisthenics, I will definitely say so. And my personal development, the last years has been insane for me. They really have. But just looking at pure results, it haven't been like crazy. It's not like I have million followers on Instagram and YouTube and everything. It's not like that. It really isn't. But I'm fucking happy because I just believe that at some point in my life, it's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off. And for me, I'm still young as well, to be honest. But I just wanna show that the hustling time and the point you believe, or if you believe that it's gonna add up in the end, that's all that really matters. And for me, that's the case. Like, I do believe everything I do is one day adding up. And then that's enough motivation for me to just keep doing what I'm doing. Stay disciplined, stay consistent, and then I guess time will tell. But the fun part is that I'm sharing everything. I'm sharing all my training sessions. I'm trying to share as much as possible with everything in my life, so that you see that if I were to succeed, or if I were to fail, you will also know that you would see that, yeah, maybe he put in fucking tons of work and didn't work out. But to be honest, if that would be the case, sorry for the low exposure, if that would be the case, I would just do something else. I would switch up, try something else until it worked. So either way, I am really happy with the journey I'm on, even if I still waiting for some results. Delayed gratification. Now I'm gonna turn it off before it gets too dark and you get irritated on my voice. I will see you guys in the gym for a front lever session. Before I get into the workout, I just wanna say, do you remember last session I was this, let's say, sort of crybaby about my traps being super sore and my core being extremely sore. And I didn't know why. Then 2 days ago, I was laying in my bed answering YouTube comments, and I had this one comment. It said, "Bro, it's from your backflips." And at that point I was like, what the fuck? And I know I did backflips, but I didn't even have it in mind, because to be honest, I posted it on Instagram, me doing a backflip. It was the first time in many years to have done a backflip on the ground. But I did like 15 backflips in one day. And those attempts fucked me up completely. The traps and the core. And that was the only thing that changed, but I just didn't think about it because, I mean, it's a backflip, it's not like I'm doing any training, but I guess the explosiveness, the core is from tucking the knees up, and the traps is from throwing up the arms. As explosive as possible, because I'm giving my all. So to some degree it's understandable, but I just didn't have it in mind. But it was crazy. So from now on, I'm gonna be careful with backflips and don't do too many, because clearly it fucks up my other training. That was insane. I just want to share it. So if you ever have core pain or soreness and in the traps, maybe you've been doing some backflips. That was weird. But let's get into the training, starting off with top or front lever touch. Let's get started. Ooh. Not too bad. Might have had slightly tighter grip than usual, but felt alright, felt alright. It was first set as well, that's always the worst one. So let's see if the second one is even better. I think this was maybe 5-6 seconds, so not on the top end of my solid or second range, but maybe we can bump it up to over 6 in 2 of the last sets. Not too bad. The hold might not be the longest, but the form, I feel a connection with it that's different compared to before. Back in days it would be like, I'm up against the bar, but now I really feel it like the whole body is connected. Sort of hard to explain it, but you know when you just have connection, like even with your toes when you're doing a hold. At that point you just know that it's connecting all the way from the brain to your toes. And that's not always going to be the case. A lot of times during training it just feels like the legs are just there. At that point, the control isn't there, but we're working towards it. And now I feel like I'm starting to reach it with the front lever. Even if the hold isn't the longest, the connection is there. And in my opinion, that's like the first step to actually starting to master it. Before that, it's just hustle. Let's do one more. Slightly holding it under the bar, but I'm happy. I'm actually happy. Let's move on to some front lever pull-ups with resistance band. I got the setup, the 5 to 15 kg resistance band and just a static bar. This is what I had last time as well. Let's do 3. The thing now though is that I'm doing max holds for the front lever. So 3 pull-ups, then a max hold, which means that I'm going to failure. So automatically I'm pushing my limit every time, which it's slightly harder. If I were to time it, it would be pretty clear to see progressive overload if I'm getting longer holds. But with this, it's sort of day-to-day basis. But the key point now though is that I'm going to failure each time, which means that I am actually pushing the limit to my potential. Then timing it is more of a proof that it's actually getting better each time. But eventually, I think I'll do one to 2 more weeks of pretty hardcore pushing, then a deload, and during either next week or the one in 2 weeks, then it's gonna be, I will take one lighter band, continue with 3 pull-ups and then a max hold. And then that's a clear sign of progressive overload. But going to failure is also a good alternative for this type of stuff. Let's do 3 sets. Okay, I did 4 pull-ups because as I was doing it, I remember that last time I did 4 actually. 3 would be a bit too easy, I think. But I was good. Pretty damn happy with both the pull-ups and the holds. For the next one, I'm gonna see if I can get my feet a little bit higher up. It looked like I was doing the pull-up to touch, but my legs was pointing slightly downwards. So I'm just gonna see if I can bump up the basically legs a bit more. Just a few angles, not a lot, but we're here to do the good form, so let's fix it. Oh. Woo. I think the form was better, and I touched the bar on all 4 reps, which is damn good. Last set. Let's see if you can get a touch here as well. Whoa. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's heavier and heavier each set. Slightly getting fatigued, which is not weird. I mean, I'm really pushing the limit on each set, so not that weird to be honest. But let's move on to the sort of reverse races with dumbbells, the ones I started last week. They are pretty damn awesome, and an exercise I'm looking forward to increasing the weight, both for retraction strength, but also see how much it affects my Victorian and contributing to it getting better. Last session I did 10 reps with 8 kg. Now let's move up to 9 kg today. This was a bad way of entering. crazy heavy to do the holds. Sheesh. But it feels insanely good. Insane. Last one. Nice. Last up, weighted pull-ups. Last session I did the chin-ups, so now just pull-ups. I like to do it alternating each session, just to get a little bit of both. None of them are necessarily my goals to increase weight in, but I do them because I enjoy them, and of course they do bring some additional strength to all my pulling exercises. 40 kg, let's see if we can do 9 reps now. I've been doing a lot of 8 reps in the past. Maybe time to step up the game here a little. Oh, it's gonna be pretty rough to maintain it for 3 sets, but I'll give it my best. That was barely. Not foolishing over, but it was alright. Tried slightly tighter grip, usually do wide. I don't know if it was helping. To be honest, I think I'm more comfortable wider, so I am actually stronger there because I just always train in that position. Let's do one last set. Alright, music shake, angle shake. We're fucking ready. That was 9 for 3 sets, which is pretty damn good. Before I say goodbye for today's session, I want to give you some big news regarding my training. It is actually really massive, and for you guys as well. And that's the environment I train in. I am actually not going to train in this gym anymore. I have until the end of this month. But I made the decision to actually move on to another gym. I have enjoyed this gym a lot, but I just don't think they are going to expand towards calisthenics, which is unfortunate. I spent a lot of time here with that belief. But we live, we learn. So I'm from now just going to move on to another sort of gym chain that is spread across Stockholm, so I can gym at different locations, which is going to be nice. It's a temporary fix to some degree. At the end, I'm actually reaching out to gyms right now, looking just for a gym that want to expand more towards calisthenics, for freestyle and all of those things. But until then, I just want a solid gym where I can train a bit all over the place. And in that case, this was a good solution. So I've already signed, so I will be able to go back to gym I actually trained in 2 years ago. I think I have a few videos on this channel as well, maybe 2 of them where I'm training there. So I will have access to that gym. I will have access to a gymnastic bar that I trained before the Swedish Nationals. So if we weren't able to find a calisthenics gym or build one until winter hits hard, the final backup is to be able to do on the gymnastic bar, which I now have access to. And all of this was a pretty good deal as well. I only pay 40 euros, slightly under, like 350 or 35 euros for the whole Stockholm, and they have like, I don't know, 20, 30 gyms around here, which is insanely good. So maybe not 20, 30, maybe like 10 gyms. That's more legit, at least. I don't know, but either way, there's a lot of good stuff. So I will be switching the location, not training here anymore, which is a bit sad, but it's a new chapter. The truth is also, I feel like I'm wasting a small potential of me that I'm training right here, in the sense of marketing the sport and spreading, because one of my main goals, that's also why I'm doing social media and all that, is to just get people to see the sport, get more people involved in it, because I'm so in love with the sport, and I know a lot of people would just love to perform it as well. And the only thing really is for them to know that it exists and to have gyms that actually supports it. But if we have that, I have no doubts that the sport is going to grow like crazy fast. And one thing with me training here is that you always see me alone in this gym. There's never people around. There's no people that is going to get inspired from me training it every single day, showing up and being sort of a role model for the sport. Like, I'm wasting that potential training here where no one can see me, if that makes sense. So that's something I'm, to some degree, also feel like I'm wasting that potential, the marketing and spreading the sport in Sweden, if I'm training on my own all the time. So I do want to find or train in a gym, which I am going to do right now, where there's more people around it, more people that will be able to see the sport, more people that can ask me questions, more people that I can help in person. Of course, it's going to take some light or small amount of time extra for my training, but I feel like it's worth it. I definitely feel like it's worth it. And build that community. If we have that big community as well, the odds of also gyms seeing the potential, if the sport is growing in small communities throughout different local gyms, it's also going to be bigger, which means there's a higher chance that gyms want to invest in actually building a more suitable calisthenics gym that in the end we all can train at. And at that point, the sport is going to skyrocket, because now we have 0 gyms, we had Extremfabriken, it was the one gym that was really good in Sweden. Then they closed down and we had nothing. And that's been the case for the last year now. So we have no gyms that's really suitable for the sport, which sucks. So we can't grow, but if we start small, I have no doubts that we're eventually going to get there. And if no gym wants to invest in it, most likely there's going to be a point where our group is just going to be like, fuck it, we just build our own. Now all of us are super young and don't really want to invest and put that much time either in making it, but it's just a matter of time before we are actually probably going to do it. Because we need a place to train. This is our life and our lifestyle, so it's pretty important. But that was what I wanted to tell you guys. So most likely I will train it tomorrow as well, but in 1 or 2 weeks, I will be switching up, and you're gonna see a different environment, probably a bit more public reactions from time to time, and a different type of vibe, which is gonna be nice. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for a Maltese session. Let's start off with some Maltese holds. I'm going back now to the 5 to 15 kg band, which basically was the best one I did a while back, or 2 weeks ago. The potential is there, and hopefully I can do 3 solid sets with this band. Let's give it a try. First one was not good. Let's see here. Oh, the fuck. Now, of course, I wasted a lot of energy on the first attempt, but that was harsh. I give it one more attempt with this band. I'm gonna actually go for the top grip. As I mentioned before, it's better connection, it's just more painful. And we'll see if that helps, because now I tried to hold here, but that was harsh. Either way, let's rest stop, give it one more time. Should be doable with this band. It's a mental game, 100% mental. I know I have the power, so fuck it. All right, that was definitely better. Way more connection. Let's have a look at the form, see if we can improve something. Otherwise, I'm just gonna rest up and just send it for the first set as well. This is literally the only spot I need chalk for the Maltese at least. It's really short holds though, but it's better than last sessions. And better than the first set I did, but still not as long as I would like it. Let's move on to some supinated full planche. These holds should be slightly longer. It's the same band, and I mean the difference in just full planche hold and Maltese, pretty massive in my opinion. So therefore these holds should definitely be above 5-6 seconds at least. Yeah, that was way better. For the next one, I'm actually gonna try to point my toes. I've always liked the way with the 90-degree foot, but I will give it a try with a pointer and see if it just makes it easier to connect with legs and core. Maybe. Not too bad. It felt almost slightly easier to connect it, to be honest. Then I don't know how the form is because I haven't done this a lot, so hard to know the body connection. But let's have a look and see if the form was pretty solid. Maybe then this is gonna be the new thing for me. Just point the toes. Sort of gymnastics, but if it's cleaner, it's to some degree better. It looked alright, but I think I can get the legs slightly higher up, so let's give it a try. Because I did like the connection though, just not something I usually do. So a bit uncomfortable now, but if I get comfortable with it, it can be good. Pretty solid. Think the feet were slightly higher this time. Let's move on to some pronated straight arm raises. Last time I did 12.5 kg, today I'm bumping it up to 15. Still aiming for about 8 to 10 reps. I think it's gonna be pretty good. Let's get started. Nine is gonna be enough. Holy shit. It's insanely hard pushing here. It's actually crazy. Like there's a massive difference, like just connection feels so tight to some degree with this grip, but when you're here it feels like it's literally only front shoulder that it's activating and working. But it was nice. Let's see if we can keep it up with the 9 reps for the 2 other sets. Oh my god. It's insanely heavy. Holy crap. I have now for a pretty long time just been training with 80 kilograms for my dips. And I have stepped up to 10 reps. Not last session, that one was really bad due to my soreness. But before that, 10 reps. And reps is not my strongest side. For me, like 1 rep max is my peak. So if I just do few reps, I can bump up the weight a lot. But my stamina is shit. But I'm thinking actually now, I'm gonna try it 90 kg and drop down to 8 repetitions again. So we're increasing in weight, now it's more towards strength again, like the closer to about like between 5 and 8 reps. I think that's really good for actually transferring a lot of strength from my dips to my other training. If I start doing way more than let's say 12 or something, then it's more endurance based. And since static usually isn't endurance, of course that's the GOAT level you want to reach where you can do things for many seconds. But for the short period of time when you just want explosive pure strength, I think lower reps and dips is going to be greatly beneficial for me. So let's give it a try. 90 kg, see if I can do 9 reps. Or 8 reps. 8 reps. First challenge is 90 kg squat. Yeah, we got that one. Oh yeah, we're good. Let's get another set. First one was freaking nice. Feels really nice. Holy shit. Let's get it. Last set. Whoop. Okay, that was hard. Fucking hell. Barely didn't do 8 reps, but we got it done. Maybe not the longest range of motion the last rep, but I will take it. Well, let's wrap it up with some flexing. After those dips, should be having some pump, I think. Then the light today, it's towards the evening, but it's really sunny outside, so since we're not only having light from the above, this is for everyone who wants to know what the perfect condition with light is. You only want it from the above. If you have it from the side angles, you can take away some of the shadows, especially if you want this sort of just brutal vibe. Then I want complete darkness, preferably a light slightly in front, coming from the above. It's crisp when it comes to shadows. Let's see what we can do. Some double bicep. The tricep, this one is just literally squeezing the shit out of it. Woo! Back.
pretty solid. And my personal favorite, to be honest, just casual flex. Casual standing. Holding the breath though is fucking harsh. Maltese. Oof. Let's go. That was pretty alright. And to be honest, next session I might be in the new gym training. This might have been the last session here. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'll see, but might be the case. There's also a lot of big stuff happening in the future. I'm not gonna tell you everything, but there's gonna be a lot of changes when it comes to the things I do. And there's also one series I've been thinking about doing. It was actually Phil from the Grenation team, the owner of Grenation. He told me last winter that I was gonna do ice bath talks. And at that point I was considering it, but wasn't feeling comfortable with it, with just talking about things. But now I've sort of just practiced literally from YouTube, doing these vlogs and everything. I just practice a lot of speaking English basically. So now I feel like I would be able to do it actually. And just let me know in the comments if you would like it. And the concept then would be that you write, it would be once per week. I would sit in the ice bath and answer questions on YouTube. So you could, for example, let's say one Monday, you will ask me questions that I will then sit in the ice bath discussing. It might be about training, might be about life. Whatever it may be, you can ask them, and then for the next week you will ask new questions, if that makes sense. So that would be the concept. And I think it could be a nice vibe, and also another type of content that's literally just pure value. Like my training vlogs now, I try to give a lot of tips and stuff from time to time, but of course it's really focusing on my training. But those things would literally just be me giving my value to help you guys with your training. So let me know if you think that's a nice concept to have. I definitely think I would really enjoy doing it, and also knowing that I could be able to just give a bit more, it will feel good. So write in the comments what you think. And besides of that, hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next one. Choo-choo!